determine budget. So this is the process of aggregating the estimated cost of individual activities or work packages to establish an authorized cost baseline. When I hear this word, I want to show you cost baseline so that we are very clear what it is, and then so I'm going to show it. It is on next slide, and then we'll come back and talk about determine budget, because all right. This is the S-curve that I was talking about. Okay. This is a S-curve. Okay. And this is BAC. This line is your BAC. So as I said, cost baseline is time phase approved project cost baseline or budgeted actual cost. Okay. So in here, as you see, what we'll have different funding requirement at different point in time. So this is the way we are that this point in time we'll be releasing these many funds for the project. So the funding requirements are different. So it is not done very from S-curve perspective, but it is done usually in steps, and these are the steps that we are seeing for funding. So this is the place, this is the point in which we do the funding for the project, for example. Okay. So, and this is the cumulative value of that fund. Okay. Now, essentially, this is the budget, right? Your BAC. This is the final value actually. Okay, that will say your budgeted actual cost. This budgeted actual cost is the value which is highest, or rather from project perspective, it is a budget that is there for your project considering your cost baseline. So cost baseline will have budgeted actual cost as the highest point. Okay. Then comes your so budgeted actual cost will consist of your contingency reserves. So we talk about contingency reserves. So those contingency reserves will be there for budgeted actual cost, right? So when I talk about cost baseline, it consists of contingency reserve in terms of cost, and that's about it. So this is the S-curve. Whenever I say cost baseline, you should always imagine S-curve. That's all. Okay. So it is time phase, approved, project, budget. Now, when I say project budget, then I add management reserve to budgeted actual cost, and I get this project budget. So essentially project budget equal to BAC plus management reserve. Okay. So BAC plus MR. Okay. So that's about it. I wanted to tell you from cost baseline perspective. Now we'll go back from where we started, determine budget slide. Okay. All right. So the process of aggregating the estimated cost, I think this is very straightforward. We can use simple tool like cost aggregation, which will just aggregate all the individual activity related cost and or work packages to establish an authorized cost baseline. Okay. So in here I would like to show you one more slide, which is again graphical in nature. So this is the way, again this also talks about your contingency reserve and management reserve. So reserve analysis is the tool and technique we use. So first we need to understand what are the you consider this at this level. Okay, so activity cost estimate will be here. Okay, this is activity cost estimate plus activity contingency reserve. So these activity cost estimate will be related to your activity contingency reserve, rather other way around. These contingency reserve will be related to the activity that you are going to perform. So every activity may have activity contingency reserve. Okay, when you add up all the activity related to work package, you get work package cost estimates. So let's say work package has 4 activities. You add up all the activity cost estimate and activity contingency reserve, okay, which is cost buffer in a way, you get work package cost estimate. Then you will have at work package level, you may have contingency reserve, and when you add all the work packages and their related contingency reserve, you get control account level, essentially control account level. So one work package plus one contingency reserve, you get one control account related cost. Likewise, you have multiple work packages, and one control account may have multiple work packages, so together which will have one control account. So these multiple control accounts added together will give you your cost baseline. So once you get the cost baseline, you add the management reserve to that to arrive at your project budget. So always remember, cost baseline is not a project budget. There is a relation between project budget. Cost baseline is equal to budgeted actual cost, BAC, okay, which you will be using in the examples that when we solve the examples, even you will get even better idea. So BAC plus your management reserve, you will get a project budget. So this is another slide I wanted to cover before I talk anything on that slide. All right. So going back. So what we have here, we have the process of aggregating this. So we saw now how we are aggregating. So why I went back was cost aggregation was in effect. You saw how aggregation is performed, which is simple, straightforward process to arrive at your cost performance baseline, or cost, the way we call it, cost baseline, simple, which is essentially authorize time phase project budget. Then looking at inputs, okay, all the inputs are covered, tools and techniques are covered, so we'll cover at appropriate. So we'll the important output, your cost performance cost baseline is the important output. These are the tools and technique, cost aggregation, reserve analysis, etc. By now we are pretty familiar with. Rest we'll discuss at appropriate slide. The main input for this determined budget is always activity cost estimate. So which will be aggregated to work package level, work package to control account to essentially your cost baseline. Okay. So let's see it one by one in subsequent slides. So activity cost estimate, it is activities within each work package is aggregated to arrive at the estimate for each work package. So this we already aware of. This becomes input. Basis of estimate developed during the cost estimating phase. Project scope baseline to review and incorporate why we need it, incorporate funding constraint, if at all, available in the charter, and which gets documented in the project scope statement into the cost budget. So you can see the long list. So essentially, why we are project scope baseline? Scope baseline has 3 factors: project scope statement, WBS and WBS dictionary. So scope statement also is we compared with charter also, project charter also. and it has funding constraints that may be coming directly from the customer or management as appropriate, and that will be used for from project scope baseline while determining the budget. So if budget goes above that constraint, you know that you have to do some adjustment, and if it is not within your constraint, then you call appropriate stakeholder meeting and adjust the work packages and activities, or essentially the features that we are going to deliver to the customer, the way customer understand. Then coming to project schedule, this is used to aggregate cost for the period when the specific activity would be performed. So this is, since it is a time-phased budget, right? We need to have the project schedule also as an input. Resource calendar, availability. Basically, resource calendar has availability or not availability of the resources for your project, and in that also, if there are shifts, these are the two information we look for. Then contract information related to what product or service needs to be produced is obtained from the contract, or any other legal requirements towards budget, funding constraint you may have, or put in the contract also. So those become input. Reserve analysis. So reserve analysis is both for known unknowns as well as unknown unknown. Reserve analysis is both contingency reserve as well as management reserve. Contingency reserve is known unknown, management reserve is unknown unknown. Simple, straightforward, which we have seen yesterday, today also we saw. Then funding cost aggregation, the cost estimates of activities are aggregated to work package level and then up to the project. I think this is simple, straightforward. You're just rolling up all the cost from activity level to control account level to arrive at your total project cost. So limit reconciliation, this is expenditure towards the projects are reviewed against the limit set by the customer periodically. So limit reconciliation is another tools and technique to ensure that we are not exceeding the limit set by the customer. Then we have cost performance baseline. Cost performance baseline is I will say cost baseline as per the PMBOK edition 5. It's a cost baseline. It is a time phase budget used for monitoring and controlling the project cost performance. So when I actually start spending, I am going to compare it against your cost baseline, which is part of your project management plan also. Then another output is project funding requirements. So these are funding requirements from step to step. I mean, when you are releasing what kind of funds towards the project. So funding requirement for a duration are derived from cost baseline, which is the S curve, and a margin is added for overruns and early progress, etc. Project document updates, if any, for budgeting activity, approved change requests, impacts the cost management plan, then these changes are incorporated into cost management.